All right, what's up, everybody? Lesson 2.5, we are reviewing Chapter 2. There's no new material, just a bunch of review problems. I should say I apologize. Okay, just a bunch of review problems. Your Chapter 2 test is on. For odd periods, it's on Thursday, October 1st. For even periods, it's on Friday, October 2nd. Okay, please make a cheat sheet, write all of these rules in one place, have them on just one piece of paper. You are totally allowed to use notes on the test on Thursday and Friday, so please make yourself a cheat sheet. Use all the rules that are given to you. Okay, first we'll do a few examples on translations. Okay, what is the rule for this translation? If the yellow triangle is the pre-image, so this is our pre-image, and we are going over here to the image. Okay, always make sure you have to count from the same plot or the same coordinates, right? If we're going to start at this bottom left coordinate of our triangle, we have to count all the way to our other bottom left coordinate. So let's count them out. XY is changing to, in the X direction, are we going right or are we going left? We're going left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and we went left, so that's at negative, so x minus 6. Now y, are we going up or down? Down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We went down 6. Is that positive? Is that negative? That's y minus 6. So that is one way you can write it, but remember there's two ways. You can also write it big T, and then just the numbers in these brackets, negative 6, negative 6, and make sure you close those brackets, okay? So x minus 6, y minus 6, or t negative 6, negative 6, same thing, just different ways of how to write them. Okay, next, what are the coordinates of a prime, b prime, and c prime after a translation of x plus 3, y minus 7, right? So if we're going to write a prime, b prime, and c prime, right? Our rule is x plus 3, y minus 7. Okay, all we do is we're adding 3 to our x numbers. We're subtracting 7 from our y numbers. So 3 plus 3 gives us 6. Negative 3 plus 3 gives us 0. 2 plus 3 gives us 5. Now we take all of our y numbers and subtract 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. Negative 1 minus 7 is negative 8. And negative 3 minus 7 is negative 10. Right, so those are your coordinates. A prime is at 6, 0. B prime is at 0, negative 8. And C prime is at 5, negative 10. Okay. Graph the vertices of triangle ABC, graph the image of the triangle using prime notation, and list the points. Okay, so notice on this one, this is similar to what you will see on your test, but since you're doing it online, there's not an option for you to plot and draw the coordinates actually on the graph. Okay, but this is similar to what you will actually see. So if A is at negative 2, positive 1, B is at 2, 3, and C is at 3, negative 1, 1, 2, 3, negative 1. Right, here is our triangle A, B, and C. All right, now we're going to do the translation of x plus 2, y minus 3. Our new triangle, I'll put in a new shape. Remember, x plus 2 means we're going right 2. Y minus 3 means we're going down 3. Okay, you can add and subtract, or you can draw them on the graph. That's fine, doesn't matter. Take each point, go to the right, 1, 2, go down, 1, 2, 3. That is going to be A prime. B prime, we go to the right, 2, down, 1, 2, 3. That there is B prime. And C prime, we go to the right, 2, down, 1, 2, 3. That there is C prime. We have our new triangle. And now we have to actually write down what are the coordinates. A prime is at 0, negative 2. B prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 0. And C prime is at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4 is at 5, negative 4. Okay, again, similar to what you'll see on the test, except you don't obviously have to write or draw on the graph. Okay, a few examples on reflections. What is the rule for reflecting across the line y equals x? Hey, guess what? I don't know this off the top of my head, but if I'm a smart and intelligent student, I have a cheat sheet right in front of me, and I can look and see what the rule is for reflecting across the line y equals x. All right, so I can go over here. Cross the line y equals x, xy changes to yx. There's your answer right there. Okay, that's super easy. X, y changes to yx. Put your commas in there. Okay, that's it. Okay, what is a prime, b prime, c prime if we perform a reflection across the line y equals negative x, right? So again, you can make our t-chart. These are our x numbers. These are our y numbers. And if we're reflecting across the line y equals negative x, we're going to have a prime, b prime, c prime. What is the rule? Okay, go back and see what the rule is. If we're reflecting across the line y equals negative x, xy changes to negative yx, xy changes to negative yx. So we're right here. It changes to negative y, negative x. Negative y, negative x. Okay, so that means we're going to flip the numbers and flip the signs, right? So all of our y numbers are going to go first, but we're going to write it with the opposite sign. So positive 7 becomes negative 7. Negative 1 becomes positive 1. Negative 3 becomes positive 3. Then we take our x numbers and change the sign. Positive 3 becomes negative 3. Negative 3 becomes positive 3. And positive 2 becomes negative 2. So our answers, a prime is at negative 7, negative 3. B prime is at 1, 3. C prime is at 3, negative 2. And those are our answers there. Just follow the rules. Okay, reflect each figure across the given line. List the coordinates of the vertices of the image and the graph, and then graph it below. So again, similar to what you will see, you don't have to actually draw and graph, okay, but it could be helpful if you draw it out. So first, notice discrepancy, okay, my fault, right? If we're reflecting across the y-axis, first you can write the rule just to help you. xy is going to change to negative xy. All right, so all we're going to do is change the sign of our x values. And if our original coordinates, notice this is only asking for our prime, okay, but if I'm going to help myself out, I'm going to write the coordinates of the original here as well. So A is at 1, 3. B is at 1, 2, 3, negative 2, 3, negative 2. And C is at 1, negative 1, 1, negative 1. And then if I'm changing the rules, I'm just changing the sign of the x. So 1, 3 is going to become negative 1, 3. 3, negative 2 is going to become negative 3, negative 2. And 1, negative 1 is going to become negative 1, negative 1. Okay, we have all of our coordinates. Now we need to graph them. A is at negative 1, 3, negative 1, 3. B is at negative 3, negative 3, negative 2. And C prime is at negative 1, negative 1. All right, and then we draw in our triangle, right, reflected across the y-axis, reflected across the y-axis. Okay, here we're reflecting across the line y equals x. That means xy is going to change to yx. We just switch the numbers. Okay, we switch the numbers. So again, that is a diagonal line that we're reflecting across right there. Right, that's the diagonal line we're reflecting across right there. And again, I'm going to draw in the coordinates of our originals. A is at positive 1, 1, 2, 3. Right, 1, 3. Notice, ladies and gentlemen, they're the same exact shape. So 1, 3. B is at 3, negative 2. Notice again, typo. C is at 1, positive 1. 1, 1, negative 1. Sorry. And then the rule is that we switch them. So 1, 3 becomes 3, 1. 3, negative 2 becomes negative 2, 3. And 1, negative 1 becomes negative 1, 1. We plot them. 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. Negative 2, positive 3. Negative 2, positive 1, 2, 3. And negative 1, positive 1. And there we have our triangles. And then it's a diagonal line, but if you tilt your head to where it's looking at the diagonal line, you can see that they are indeed reflections of each other. Good. A few examples of rotations. What is the rule for rotating 270 degrees? If you don't know, have your rules in front of you. Check. What's the rules of rotating 270 degrees? Positively, xy changes to y negative x. Xy changes to y negative x. Xy changes to y negative x. I have to keep saying that or else I'll remember, or I'll forget. Xy changes to y negative x. Put your commas in. Okay, boom, that's easy. What are the coordinates of A prime, B prime, C prime if we rotate the pre-image positive 90 degrees? So again, I would have my XYT chart. We know if we're rotating 90 degrees, we're going to have A prime, B prime, and C prime. Our rule is if we go 90 degrees, don't know, go back and look. Positive 90 degrees, XY changes to negative YX, negative YX, negative YX. Changes to negative yx. You're taking all your y numbers, you're changing the sign. So positive 7 changes to negative 7, negative 1 changes to positive 1, negative 3 changes to positive 3. Taking your x numbers, they stay the same. Positive 3 stays positive 3, negative 3 stays negative 3, and 2 stays 2. So our answer is A prime is at negative 7, 3. B prime is at 1, negative 3, and C prime is at 3, 2. There's your answers. Okay, rotate each figure. I'm going to move this picture so my face isn't covering it. Okay, rotate. Again, discrepancies. I apologize. Let's take these out. We'll take these out. Let's rotate 180 degrees. XY is going to change to negative x, negative y. So again, find the original coordinates. I'm kind of out of space, so I'm going to write them down below. The coordinates of A is negative 1, 3. Coordinates of B is 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 4. And the coordinate of C is 2, negative 1. And if we're rotating it 180 degrees, all we're doing is changing the sign. So all your x numbers change sign. Negative 1 goes to positive 1. Positive 3 goes to negative 3. Positive 2 goes to negative 2. And we're changing the sign of our y numbers. Positive 3 changes to negative 3. Positive 4 goes to negative 4. Negative 1 goes to positive 1. Now we plot 1, negative 1, 2, 3. That's A prime. Negative 3, negative 4, negative 3, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. That is B prime. And negative 2, positive 1. That is C prime. And there's your shape, rotated 180 degrees. Okay, if we're rotating 270 degrees, right, the rule is XY changes to, if you don't know, double check. Okay, I just looked it up and XY changes to Y negative X. And again, to help myself out, I'm going to write all my pre-image points. S is at 2, negative 2. T is at 2, negative 3. U is at 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1. And V is at 4, negative 1, 2, 3, 4. 4, negative 4. So if I just follow the rule, we're rewriting all the y numbers. So negative 2 stays negative 2, negative 3 stays negative 3, negative 1 stays the same, negative 4 stays the same. But all of the x numbers are changing sign. Notice all of our x numbers are positive, so that means they're all going to change to negative. So positive 2 changes to negative 2, positive 4 changes to negative 4. And then I'm going to plot them. Again, I apologize for my poor handwriting. S prime is at negative 2, 2, or sorry, negative 2, negative 2. T prime is at negative 3, negative 2. 2, 3, negative 2. U prime is at -1, -4, -1, -4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And V prime is at -4, -4, -4, -4. There we have our shape that was rotated 270 degrees. Good. Okay, composite transformations. Remember, doing multiple transformations at once. What two transformations did we do, and what is the rule of these transformations? Okay, so remember, here's your pre-image, here's your first image, here's your second image. Okay, so from triangle ABC, how did we get from here to here to triangle A prime, B prime, C prime? Okay, notice we reflected across the y-axis. So the first one is a reflection. Again, apologize for the poor handwriting. We're reflection across the y-axis. And just good practice, what is the rule? We know that x, y changes to, right? You can also look, how did C to C prime change? +1, +1 to -1, +1. XY changes to -XY. Okay, that is how we change there. And then if we want to go another color, how did we get from A prime, B prime, C prime here to A double prime, B double prime, C double prime? Notice this was also a reflection across the x-axis this time. So we reflected the x-axis. And again, what is the rule for that? We know that x, y changes to, take a look, -4, 2 goes to -4, -2. We change the sign of the y value. XY changes to x, -y. Okay, perform the composite transformation, reflect across the y-axis, and then rotate 90 degrees. Okay, so our first one is the reflection across the y-axis. The rule there is xy changes to -xy. All right, so 3, 1 becomes -3, 1. 3, 3 becomes -3, -3. And -1, -5 becomes 1, -5. Okay, and then for our second one, we rotate 90 degrees. XY changes to -yx. I just looked that up. XY changes to -yx. Remember, now that we're starting over again, these are not what you think. These are just go back to regular x and y, right? So you're going to write all your y values opposite signs. So +1 changes to -1. -3 changes to +3, -5 changes to +5. And then we rewrite all of our x numbers, and they stay the same. Signs do not change. So -3 stays -3, -3 stays -3, and +1 stays +1. All right, so those are your coordinates of the second image. Okay, perform the composite transformation. We're doing two translations. Okay, here we're adding x plus 1. Here we're y minus 3. So we're adding 1 to our x values. 3 plus 1 gives us 4. 3 plus 1 gives us 4. -1 plus 1 gives us 0. And then we're subtracting 3 from our y values. 1 minus 3 gives us -2. -3 minus 3 gives you -6. -5 minus 3 gives you -8. Now, here in the second transformation, we do x minus 5 and y minus 2. Remember, these start over, just your regular x and y numbers now, right? 4 minus 5 gives you -1. 4 minus 5 gives you -1. 0 minus 5 gives you -5. And for our y values, we subtract 2. -2 minus 2 gives you -4. -6 minus 2 gives you -8. And -8 minus 2 gives you -10. So our values there for our A double prime, B double prime, C double prime. Okay, last one, I believe last one. Yep, last one. Rotate 90 degrees and then reflect across the line y equals x. So our first rule, when we rotate 90 degrees, xy changes to -yx. And again, I just looked that up. It's okay. All right, we take our y values, change the sign. +1 changes to -1. -3 changes to +3. -5 changes to +5. Keep our same x values. 3, 3, and -1 all stay the same. And then for our next one, our next rotation is reflect across the line y equals negative x. And that rule is xy changes to negative y, negative x. And again, these start over. These are your x values. These are your y values. All right, so you change the sign of all of them. Y's numbers change the sign. Positive 3 becomes negative 3. Positive 3 becomes negative 3. Negative 1 becomes positive 1. Also change the sign of our x values. Negative 1 becomes positive 1. Our positive 3 becomes negative 3. And positive 5 becomes negative 5. Okay, and those are your coordinates of your second image. Okay, that's all I got. Just a bunch of examples. Please make sure you're studying in some way, shape, or form. Please make sure you write a cheat sheet of all the rules for transformations so that way you can use that cheat sheet on the test. Have a great day. Go